Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right, welcome back for another episode of the Sleazy Podcast, the world-renowned Sleazy Podcast, that is. I'm one of your hosts, Sleazy, joined by the one and only Mr. PBS.
Howdy.
The ever-so ongoing disappointing Robzilla has joined us.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah.
Should we change his nickname to the Ick since you started your new video series on him, whatever?
The Ick, yes. So I have decided to catalog every excuse that Robzilla gives me for not going to an event or getting something done. I just open it up and I make sure I screen record it. So
Every fucking time.
And it works out, you know. Now I've got a track record of all the things that you do wrong, or not you do wrong, that you just weasel your way out of. Okay. So I don't even know where it is anymore on here. I think it's buried under our messages. I should have shared it, but oh well. It's growing by the day, though.
It's growing.
It'll be out there.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'll just have to share it on TikTok.
I understand.
And that all was inspired by the It guy on TikTok. You know, he finds these interviews of women being interviewed out in public, and what's your biggest ick? And obviously, it's everything that any type of man,
it's something
does.
outrageous too. It's like he just smiles too much.
He makes $35,000 a year.
Uses his turn signal.
Yeah.
You mean he doesn't make $500K a year? Ick.
Reminds me, there was a meme or something a while ago where it was like a pickup truck, and it said like, I forget, I can't remember it now, but it's like, we don't use airbags because airbags are gay or something. The guy's like, so surviving a crash is gay now? I don't know.
I don't understand the logic of these people anymore.
I didn't think that we were supposed to say gay anymore. Is it making the comeback?
I'm pretty sure just the people that had that on their window were using it that way.
Yeah.
Like the guy down in Florida that got arrested for having "I eat ass" on the back of his windshield.
It's offensive. He's like, "Are you serious? I'm getting arrested?" He's like, "Yes."
I think he won that lawsuit too, didn't he?
I hope he did.
Yeah.
There's no way that
it's freedom of speech, man.
Dude, that cop was just being a bitch.
And besides, like, if you were to go back, like saying stuff is gay, like, I don't know, aren't gay things usually kind of good?
It means happy, right?
Like,
gay?
Don't like gay people usually dress well or this or that. I mean,
gay is in nowadays.
Right.
And, you know, it's funny. Sometimes I have to like stop myself because 13-year-old version of me comes out when everything was like gay back then.
We said it back then.
It was just part of the culture. I mean, I knew gay people that were like, yeah, that's gay. I mean, that's just how it was. But moving along. So how was everybody's week?
Long and busy.
Long and busy. What did you do that made your week so long and so busy?
Oh, I had to work. I mean, that's what it is.
I mean, that's a given, though. You've got how many hours outside of the day, outside of work?
Basically from 4 to like 9, then I pass the fuck out.
You're weak.
I am a weakling.
You lack discipline.
That too.
What did you do all week?
I did watch. I watched some movies. I watched The Black Demon on Amazon Prime about the Megalodon.
That sounds awful.
It was awful. It sucks.
Only you would watch that. Sit down and have the patience to watch that.
I did watch Black Demon also.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of it.
Did you enjoy at least the one-liner from reference to Jaws?
I think there was actually a couple.
I ain't got no spit.
There's that one, and I think there was one or two other little references.
I mean,
it's a 2-star. Right?
It's
2-star. Oh, it's got to be bad then.
Yeah,
Rob and I actually agreed on this one. It's a 2-star.
Yeah. I mean, the concept is, I liked it, but it starts being political about a fucking shark. It's just like really.
It's not that it's so bad. It's just not particularly good.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to kill an hour and 40 minutes to put on a movie, like okay, whatever.
That's about it.
You could definitely watch worse things, but you could definitely watch a lot of better things.
Now, what about you? What have you been up to all week?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just work.
You said you had to run errands. That's why you're here. But you were here right before 9, so I got to give you props.
My lady needed to make a Walmart run.
So you took her to Walmart?
Yeah, she wanted to go to Spirit Halloween earlier today. We didn't get up early enough.
Oh, man. I've been wanting to go to Spirit Halloween, but I just I've decided it's best that I should probably not go and buy their overpriced merchandise.
She sent me a TikTok of like a bunch of Killer Clowns from Outer Space stuff they have that she
Oh,
wants.
wow.
So I'm like, okay. I didn't even realize she liked it quite that much, but I guess she does. So
Yeah, I don't think I could have Attack of the Killer Clowns decor in my house.
Don't show her that game. She'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna play it."
she's seen that
Oh,
already.
yeah,
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to hook up her. She's got an Xbox, but she doesn't want to hook it up because it turns on sometimes. You know, like your Xbox doesn't.
Yeah,
update.
mine used to do that.
She doesn't like that, so she unhooked it.
Fucking Skynet.
I'm like, you know, if you want to get that game, you got to hook it back up.
I used to have my original Xbox One in my room, and in the middle of the night, you'd hear that that power sound. You'd wake up like, "What the fuck?" And it's back when I had that the Kinect or whatever that had the camera view of the
bar and all that
whole.
stuff.
Yeah, so I'd be like, "Oh no, let's turn this off or unplug it."
What are you doing, Sleazy?
Somebody was watching me sleep, probably. So I don't know, man. But so you did nothing, absolutely nothing.
And it was great.
Okay.
I was on vacation the week before.
I was gonna
and
say
did
that
nothing, so
sounds like your type of week.
I get wiped out after work anymore. Just go home and want to find something to watch or read or whatever.
That's a sign you're getting old.
I-
By the way, you had a listener contact me, and I believe it's Lauren. And I know it's Lauren, but she was like very, very. How do I put this?
She was enthusiastic.
Yeah,
about it.
very enthusiastic about you. And she was like, I need a book recommendation every week from him.
We'll have to start doing something like that. Gotta get my reading back up to speed. I'm kind of slow
the
this last month.
PBS read of the week.
Yeah.
We'll put you on TikTok. You can sign into the TikTok. I think I can give you guys access now to the Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Give me the TikTok. I'll make some. I'll find some. Make some physical media TikToks or something.
did you like my Robzilla one I made?
It's Jason Bourne.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
I thought you were gonna go for
fun
a
day.
John Wick, like headshots. Pew, 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 pew.
That would have made more sense with a gun because
Yeah.
Jason Bourne's more of the hand-to-hand combat kind of guy. I should do another one with John Wick on it, But yeah, I pressed another custom order for T-shirts. This time it was for softball uniforms. I'd never done numbers before, so I was a little intimidated by it, but I got it worked out, I think. I haven't gotten any complaints yet.
Just regular T-shirts with numbers on them and stuff, or jersey kind of stuff.
So, like the dry fit shirts? I did 11 of those, and they wanted their sponsor's logo on the front, and then they wanted numbers on the back. And I'm like, well, what kind of numbers do you want? How big do you want them? He's like, I don't care. You work that out. And I'm like, okay. So, I did something, and I believe you can order press-on numbers, but I just did them, the way I, through Photoshop with a font, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
So that was, that took up my last Saturday afternoon.
No blood this time.
No blood this time.
Blood-free jerseys.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to, cut 70 transfers like in, a quick moment there. So I had time to kind of get all this done and prepared, and I wasn't stressing to get it done. Let's just say that.
You got time to believe.
But anyways, so I dropped this order off, and it's in the South End, actually on your street.
Really?
Yeah, good old Callahan.
Good old Callahan.
But on my way there, I'm on High Street, and the gas station down by the drive-ins.
Yeah.
So
like Circle K.
I'm driving. Yeah. It's Circle K. It's exactly which one it is. And so I'm driving, and I notice this dirt bike pulls out in front of me, and it's this middle-aged man riding a dirt bike in the middle of the fucking street. And he's not doing the speed limit. He's doing like 20 miles per hour or something, cruising with his six-pack back to the house. And it's, these assholes, they've upgraded from the BMX bike. That old guy that's always riding the BMX bike that's just done nothing in life. And his whole day consists of riding the bike up and down High Street or Parsons.
Sounds like some healthy living.
Yeah. Well, now they've upgraded to
Dirt bikes.
and they're riding the dirt bikes up and down. It's like, get off the fucking road, dude. Like, is a dirt bike even legal on the?
There was a big push earlier this year, late last year,
Yeah,
about people were riding their dirt bikes.
They're
and
everywhere,
four-wheel
dude.
drives or whatever.
And
or
every
their
time I'm down in
ATVs.
the South End, every time I'm down in the South End or South Side, there's a motherfucker riding a dirt bike out in the middle of a busy street, and they're holding you up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until they fly away to the side of the road and go dirt biking through the forest or whatever. But it's just like,
Trust me, every time I go down there.
I'd rather you be riding the BMX bike on the sidewalk, dude.
Yeah.
I get that it's probably a little easier for you, but come on, man.
Yeah, he gets exercise.
And you know that dude doesn't have a driver's license. He's out there riding that fucking dirt bike, drunk as fuck,
Oh, yeah.
high as fuck.
It's like, can you just go like another like 80 miles an hour and just wreck that motherfucker?
I'm not going to be mean like that. 'Cause,
Well, I am. So
you know, I think that, you know, somebody out there probably loves that dear guy, but it's like, quit being a douche, dude. You do not look cool riding that fucking crusty ass dirt bike up and down High Street to get your fucking six pack. Like, I would not ride that thing. I would fucking walk before I ride that thing. I mean, that's just me, but oh man. Well, I think we got a good show. I know I say this before most of the shows here lately, but we're going to do celebrity deaths. And by golly, the fucking Grim Reaper is spinning that Price is Right wheel.
he is on the hunt.
We got crazy news. We're going to talk a little bit about the writers-actors strike. I mean, we'll briefly touch on that, just about the new news and numbers that have come out. Then Justified, I'll talk a little, me and you will talk a little bit about
I watched
Justified
2 episodes of it.
Primeval City. Is that what it's called?
City Primal.
City of Primal?
City Primal.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just call it Justified. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Officer Raylan.
It's nice to see Officer Raylan Givens back in the saddle. And then we'll close the show out with this year's season of What We Do in the Shadows. By far the best comedy that's out that you can watch on
hands
TV
down.
right now. Hands down. Okay, so I made a TikTok of this, you know, because our inside joke is the Grim Reaper is out there spinning the wheel that
Price is Right wheel.
and he's just grabbing all these old fucking celebrities. Just one day at a time, he just gets up there and spins that fucking wheel.
It's like, who the fuck am I taking today? Make people sad.
So I made this TikTok, and I got to say, I was laughing at this one. Bob Barker,
Man,
99.
Took Bob.
Terry Funk. How old was Terry Funk?
I think he was in his late 70s.
Bray Wyatt was an untimely passing.
Yeah, he was 36.
And Jimmy Buffett. And the guy from Smash Mouth.
Yep, I forget what it is. Steve Hartwell, something like that. Lead singer. The former lead singer.
Yeah, he's since quit because of he quit because of health issues, and then he ended up going into hospice and passing away.
Terry Funk was 79.
79. But it was funny. It wasn't funny, but Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt were announced pretty close together.
It's like
Yeah.
a day apart.
Yeah, a day
Yeah.
apart. That's creepy. And they said, you know, it's funny. Bray Wyatt died of a heart attack?
It was a heart
Something
attack.
heart-related.
It was something. It was heart related. He didn't have his heart defibrillator when he went and took a nap, and then it was 4 hours later his wife.
He had heart issues from COVID.
Yeah, correct.
So, which they say, man, if you don't get that, you don't get that jab.
Get that jab.
You don't get that jab, you can have some serious complications down the road from Rona. You may think you recovered, but boom, something gets you.
I mean, I already got the shot. I'm going to be dead in 2 years anyways. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
whatever they
I'm living
say.
on borrowed time, as some people would think right now. But,
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
Fuck it. Enjoy life while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so those of you that don't know Bray Wyatt, he was a pretty well-known current wrestler.
Wyndham Rotunda.
Rotunda.
Yeah, Wyndham Rotunda. But a lot of people loved him for his horror-themed characters. He did the Wyatt family, then he had the Fiend, and he was kind of working on a comeback, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was doing that whole thing like Uncle Howdy Doody or whatever, and he started after that. He just disappeared. Maybe he was sick,
Yeah.
and that's where he was supposed to be coming back, but
Yeah, it sounds like he just had some complications from the Rona that he just couldn't shake.
yeah,
But it's always sad when all these people pass away. And then the legend Bob Barker.
damn,
Somebody
he make it to 100, man.
I saw where somebody tweeted that he did the most baller thing ever. A man got as close as he could to $1, and he dropped out before he could, go over. 99, because you hit that 99, you're not spinning the wheel again for 100.
Right.
But man, it sucks. It's funny. A lot of people thought Bob Barker was dead, so I wonder if that's going to be like a Mandela effect that's going to be coming around sometime soon.
I did too. I was like, I thought he was already passed.
I thought
I knew he went into the hospital like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I thought he came back. Didn't he come back to Price is Right for a couple episodes or something?
He did like
fairly recently, maybe like in the last 5 or 10 years.
Anniversary or something.
Yeah,
with Drew
something
Carey.
like that.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, Jim Carrey, Drew Carey had a big anniversary for him too.
yeah.
So I was pretty sure he was still out there, but I can see why you make it to 99. Some people think you didn't make it.
You're out of the spotlight for so long that people forget about you and they kind of think you died. I mean, it's kind of like Richard Simmons,
especially if you're, I haven't heard any untoward stories about Bob Barker.
Yeah,
and he's been off the show for maybe 20 years now.
Well, he had those issues with a couple of ladies.
Well, yeah, the lady. I don't know if they were with Bob Barker or if they were just ladies having issues with the show.
I think they worked on the show or something like that.
So you just I don't know how much he was worth. Probably a good chunk, and he retired and spent his money and lived his time. And
that's my childhood right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you were sick, I mean, you were watching The Price is Right with a Sprite or some chicken noodle soup. I think so many of us in our particular generation grew up with him, and Gen X.
He's like Trebek, he was the show in a way.
He's like on the Mount Rushmore of like gaming hosts,
And his net worth was $70 million. That's what his net worth was.
$70 million.
I'm sure he didn't.
That rich old fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't have any problems the last 10 or 20 years or whatever.
No.
He's gonna spin the wheel and see what drug he's gonna take that day.
He always wore like a gray suit too, didn't he?
I don't know what it always.
I feel like maybe it's just me. I always saw him in a gray suit.
It was like navy.
I mean, I think my personal favorite moment of Bob Barker was him and Happy Gilmore.
Right.
I mean, that was a great scene, a great cameo.
That never gets old.
He does this golfing, it's a
outing.
It's a
pro-am,
where they do like
professional golfer,
professional,
and like
a celebrity
amateur.
And Happy gets paired up with Bob Barker. Bob Barker's kind of like excited. He's like, I won this last year. I want to win it again. And, you're kind of on a hot streak. But, man, Happy's not doing good. Bob's talking shit to him. One thing leads to another. They're fighting on the fucking green. And
Bob's giving him the jabs.
Bob fucks him up, man. He does that old school boxing jab on him. And I think you've had enough, bitch.
Dude, I think the funniest part when he just fucking headbutts Bob Barker.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks devastating. And then he grabs him by the throat and sits up.
The
like
price
Undertaker.
is wrong, bitch. It's such a great moment in movies right there.
Because he's like, I think you've had enough. And then he walks over and kicks him right in the face. Now you've had enough. Bitch.
It's a great scene. And then they even did another scene.
I remember you showed me that, actually.
Funny or Die or something.
Yeah.
Well, it was like to commemorate the anniversary of Happy Gilmore a few years ago. And they did a scene where he was in the hospital and he beats the shit out of Happy again. Well, Adam Sandler, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was such a great scene, and it's lived on for years, and it'll still live on, hopefully. But yeah, big fan of Happy Gilmore. Big fan of Bob Barker. The one that I'm kind of not attached to is Jimmy Buffett, but when I heard it, I was like, oh, man, Jimmy Buffett fans are going to be devastated.
Pair of heads.
Because Jimmy Buffett fans are fucking hardcore, dude. They fucking love Jimmy Buffett, and they go to all of his shows. Sometimes they travel and go to 3 or 4 at a time. I mean,
even if you don't know Jimmy Buffett, I'm sure everybody knows Margaritaville.
Oh yeah.
Even people who won't admit it know Margaritaville.
What's the other popular one he had?
That was that Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah,
I've heard that one before, but I couldn't tell you anything about it off the top of my head. But I mean, Margaritaville's Margaritaville.
When I went on my first cruise, we stopped on the island, and one of the restaurants there was a poolside Margaritaville, and I was like, I gotta go and have a margarita at Margaritaville, and I'm happy to say I did it. It's off my bucket list. I got a margarita at Margaritaville, and
Didn't this go out of business? I think they went out.
I don't know. I have no idea. No, the Cheeseburger in Paradise did.
Okay,
but the last one just closed not too long ago. Right. Margaritavilles are pretty popular, from what I remember. But And when I got my margarita, they had a dance-off competition with chicks in their bikinis. So it was like the best afternoon I had in a long time.
So basically it's basically the thong song. So it's really
Oh yeah, the
the
DJ would play a song, and the girls would get the length of the song to kind of dance.
hold my
and
margarita.
people were like pouring water on them and stuff. It was pretty awesome.
Girls gone wild, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, this is pretty fucking awesome.
And he was worth his net worth was $1 billion.
Oh yeah, that dude was loaded.
And
Loaded.
from what I've seen online, he was a pretty cool dude to
Yeah.
work for and everything too. So
That's what a lot of people have. I mean,
Good things.
yeah,
So-
great things to say about him. I haven't heard anything negative come out of his death, but
You know,
sometimes people die and they're like, "Oh yeah, that dude was a fucking dick."
Oh yeah.
well,
You'll hear
I mean,
that.
even this week, like people have been talking about Jimmy Fallon being weird and
toxic or whatever,
Yeah.
toxic environment or whatever.
I've heard that people are saying he's like doing shows drunk or something.
I know he's had a drinking problem. I've heard that before.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying he's fucking drunk.
but yeah,
Is he like an Ellen DeGeneres now or something?
I think
I don't know about that.
I think these stories have been out there before. That's what I'm thinking though, because I'm not really surprised to hear these. So I'm pretty sure that people have talked about him before. But like I said, like back to Jimmy Butt, it's always nice. Like how can you be rich and like not be out of touch in a way with normal people?
Yeah. I mean, eventually you kind of forget where you're from.
Right. And like, I mean, like if you were rich and you just kind of treat people like garbage, like you in a way wouldn't even know. So it's always nice to hear that, like, oh no, this was a down to earth, like real person. Even though they were worth a ton of money, they were still pretty cool to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sucks. And then I feel like we have to give Terry Funk his due.
Funk,
He was
Funker,
he was
Chainsaw Charlie.
the face of hardcore wrestling for many, many years. He kind of spawned that style of wrestling, and he was a big name in ECW.
Yeah. ECW.
He was a
in
big
New
draw
Japan.
on there.
That was
Yeah.
his big. That was like his independent era.
When
Yeah.
you think of barbed wire wrestling,
Matches.
you think of Terry Funk.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, King of the Death matches was him and, Mick Foley.
Cactus Jack.
Sorry.
And he was relatively like active, not wrestling, but he would come out and be a part of things.
He still
here
would,
and there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's only been. So I think I remember we shared the video of the TikTok or whatever earlier this year. His or maybe it was a Twitter. His people did sort of the Ringo thing, like peace and love. Don't send me anything anymore.
Yeah.
And they said like he was having. I don't know if they ever said what his problem was. If it was like mental or physical or both. They just said, please stop sending stuff to Terry's house for him to sign. He can't do it anymore.
the man has to have CTE.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
Is it CTE or CED? CTE, right?
I think
Yeah,
it's
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
CTE.
Brain disease.
And he, like I said,
all
he
the
was
bad bumps he took.
he was. I mean, he was part of that family. He was even like. I always remember there are certain people that like back in the 90s when we were watching wrestling, really, you heard of them, but you couldn't see them because they weren't on TV. Like Cactus Jack was one of those guys, even though he made it to WCW. Terry Funk, when he kind of started that indie stuff, because today you can just YouTube all that stuff, find it online. But
And
back
it's
then,
way more extreme now.
right?
Yeah.
And back then, if you weren't in with the tape traders and stuff, you couldn't find that stuff. You
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
read it in the magazines and see the pictures and all that. So some of these guys were even legends even then.
I remember like getting, like a independent wrestling magazine and seeing some of those photos of all the bloody matches and
Yeah.
shit. And I'm like, God damn, this is barbarian shit.
Yeah.
And he also, Terry Funk had little roles in a lot of movies.
Over the top.
Oh, was he in over the? Oh yeah,
Yeah, because
Look at Robzilla throwing one
Sylvester
down on
Stallone,
you.
like, because he's like, you ain't coming in here. And he like pushes him through the fucking.
I really want to
window.
watch Over the Top here lately. I don't know why. Isn't it on Prime or something?
could be.
Look it up. See if
Over the Top was a decent movie.
Yeah, I remember it being good.
Yeah.
But that's one of those movies. I remember it being on while I was being babysat somewhere and watching it and liking it as a kid. But I couldn't tell you one thing that happens.
I'm not saying it's top tier Stallone or anything, but I think it's a fun watch.
Yeah, sometimes those are just the best to put on
Right.
during when
Like
you're having a
I'm
bad
putting on a movie about guys arm wrestling. I think I know what I'm in for here. But he was also in one of my favorite episodes of Quantum Leap.
Oh wow!
Sam, it's set in like the 50s or 60s, and Sam leaps into a brother, and the two brothers are playing like Russian wrestlers.
Oh okay.
And Terry Funk very much is the bad guy of the episode, but he's supposed to kind of like be the good guy because they're like the tag team champions.
Yeah.
And Sam and his brother have to be the tag team champions without his brother died from heart problems or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I remember seeing that when I was really young.
So it's not the one where he transports into a kid with
Jimmy.
Down syndrome.
No, not that one. So
Am I retarded?
and I always remember that one because even the first time I saw it, even without really knowing who Terry Funk was, I was a wrestling fan. And they try really hard to walk a line between saying wrestling is fake and not. Like the two brothers, like we're not really Russians, we're just playing Russians. But at the same time, it's very much like we really have to get in there and wrestle those guys.
Back then was kind of like the end of the curtain being open, or closed, I should say.
Right. And of course, it's set earlier, so when they would have said it, it was like a no. You didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah,
and even in the '90s, like we didn't know Vince was really the president or whatever of WWF until he really started being out in front. Even when he was an announcer, you just thought he was an announcer or something.
Yeah.
So that was really in the '90s there.
The rich kid who happened to get a job announcing.
And Over the Top is free on YouTube, Tubi, Pluto TV, Amazon Prime. And
Well, there you go.
There you go. You can watch Over the Top.
Easiest option's probably YouTube.
And also he was in Roadhouse.
Roadhouse was fucking good. I do remember him in Roadhouse now.
Yeah.
He's one of the similar roles.
The Trenchman.
I don't know how many times I've watched the Roadhouse and I try to rip someone's throat out like, Patrick Swayze.
It's a great Patrick Swayze movie. Patrick Swayze, I feel like, is becoming a forgotten actor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he gets quite enough credit for it.
I feel like he was a very '90s actor.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. That late 80s, early 90s
I
era.
swear like the last movie I ever seen him was like some like truck driving movie like Black Dog or something. Yeah, Black Dog.
I think that's on I think I saw that on one of the streaming services here lately. Okay, so are we ready for crazy news with Mr. PBS?
Are we?
Exciting.
All right. You ready? Are you ready to rock this out?
Let's see what we got here.
Get this ad off of here. Okay, so I'm on the bull ride shotgun in Nebraska.
National news. Bull named Howdy Doody rides shotgun in Nebraska car. I keep looking at that picture like I almost can't tell if it's fake, like a mascot, but they got like the cage. And
it looks
everything.
like a fucking statue,
Right.
like, in the car.
Mm-hmm.
How is that car like the shock's not fucking fried on that side?
Yeah. Like how's it not breaking down?
See, we
Look
got
at
here.
that motherfucker. I mean, it's slightly leaning, but
Look at the fucking horns on it.
Looks
though.
like an old Buick or something too. So it's probably
it's a Ford.
okay. Police were dispatched for a vehicle with a cow inside rolling through town. This is from Norfolk, Nebraska. A car with a full-size bull was pulled over by police in Nebraska on Wednesday. Norfolk police were dispatched around 10 a.m. for a vehicle with a cow inside. That's a quote, vehicle with a cow inside. Rolling through the town about 120 miles northwest of Omaha, police records showed. Police assumed the cow would be a small calf, but a large bull was riding shotgun in the car near the corner of West Norfolk Avenue and North 13th Street. Officers pulled over a man driving a Ford Crown Vic. There you go. Those things are unstoppable. That was carrying a full-size bull.
It'll be the apocalypse, and you'll still see one of those Ford Crowns fucking rolling through.
we solved the riddle why the car wasn't
It'll be
broke down.
Crown Vics and those Toyotas they all got over in the Middle East or whatever, right?
Yeah, the Toyotas.
The Tacomas that
Yeah.
all the people drive over there.
The driver told police that the bull's name is Howdy Doody. The car's roof on the passenger side had been removed so the animal could fit. Norfolk police said its officer addressed some traffic violations with the vehicle, and the driver was issued a warning and asked to drive back home safely. So that's that one. I don't know.
That's the whole article, huh?
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can be a cop these days and see that. Like, I don't even know how to fucking process this. I'm like, just whatever, dude. Just
when it's that saying, like, just when you think you've seen it all,
and you see this.
This seems to be the animal crazy news
Yeah.
special we got going on.
I always say, like, I don't have like any particular sympathy or animosity toward cops. There's definitely a lot of them out there that's doing maybe stuff they shouldn't be doing. Or,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they got to deal with stuff like that. and like the sovereign citizen stuff, like the guy you shared in the group this week.
Dude, that video, it was like literally irritating me watching that guy talk to him.
Right.
And you wonder why these cops just tase the fuck out of people sometimes.
It's like that guy
shut
watched
up.
a video and learned a couple of words, and all of a sudden he's a professor in law, in constitutional law.
Right.
And I forget what he was saying. What was he saying?
Well, it's always the same. It's I think he didn't say the cop actually asked him, "Are you a sovereign citizen?" He's like, "No, I'm an American national."
Yeah, I don't identify as a United States citizen
I'm
or
an American
something
national.
like that.
And then he's like, "We're contracting or something." And
Yeah, are you contracting the ticket to me? I'm not signing that contract.
so that's the only time I will unequivocally side with the police is when they're dealing with these sovereign citizens.
He's like, because you're
kind of
parked in
people.
front of a fire hydrant. He's like, make sure you get that on camera.
And I mean, I didn't see like the full beginning, but it didn't look like the cop was being a dick. He was
No, he's being nice to him.
standard thing, I'm going to check your info, make sure you're not somebody that's harassing somebody in the building.
I mean, the guy was clearly parked in front of a fire hydrant. He was clearly committing a violation of something.
I just love that at the end of that, the cops were like, okay, you're not going to take the ticket. I'm just going to mail it off and they're going to, clamp your tire down.
Right.
And that's the end of it. You're going to get a warrant and you're going to go to jail eventually. But
That's just like
I'm not contracting you.
cops.
You're not contracting me.
Like cops have these things now called computers,
Yeah.
and they put your license plate in there, and they know who you are.
Yeah.
The only reason they have to ask you for your identification stuff is to make sure it's you.
Yeah.
So unless this guy stole a car too, he's definitely going to get in trouble. On to the next. Alligator found patiently waiting for a Dollar General to open.
That's a big fucker right there. Look, and he's dreaming about those little Debbies right there.
He's on
The
that
hostess.
shit.
That's
Gator-
what it is.
Gator don't play no shit.
Gator wants some little Debbies and hostess.
I'm not
You
even
feel me?
going to, I'm barely going to try to pronounce where this is from. It looks like it's Plaquemines Parish. Maybe there's some French or patois in there I need, but whatever. Louisiana.
Little French touch to it.
Paquamines Parish.
Probably closer to that than
Yeah.
something like that. Employees at a Dollar General in Louisiana were surprised to find an alligator at the store's front door on Tuesday morning. I think that's almost as surprising as finding employees at Dollar General, right? You see all those videos of people going into Dollar Generals and there's like nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the one guy who works there's on break or something. In a Facebook post, the parish sheriff's office said they were contacted about the alligator before the store opened in the morning. Deputy Tony Palmisano captured a photo of the animal, saying it looked like it was patiently waiting for the Dollar General to open this morning. It's unclear where the animal was moved. The parish is located south of New Orleans, where alligators are abundant. So he might have been a frequent shopper.
Man, you gotta love these quick one-hitter crazy news we got.
See, it says on the Facebook post. Let's see if there's anything out
The
there.
guy his wallet in the swamp. He had to go back.
Here's from the Facebook page. This little fella was patiently waiting for the Dollar General to open this morning. The best deals in town are always DTR. If you know, you know. And since you brought it up, this is the sheriff posted on the Facebook. For all you inquiring minds, Mr. Gator picked up his Little Debbie snacks, hopped in his truck, and went fishing in the Civic Drive Fishing Pier in Port Sulphur. He's just living the dream.
What was that cartoon character, the crocodile? You know what I'm talking about. I forget his name, but he was.
I feel like I vaguely remember.
I get where you're. I can't remember it
Yeah.
all.
But there was a skit
It's like
on
Lyle or Larry Crocodile
yeah,
or
Lyle.
something like that.
Yeah, because there was a skit on like Harvey Birdman, and like they were at his house, and like cops were like, "He need to come out." He's like, "You guys gonna tackle me?" Dude, it's the funniest thing I ever seen. That was like 11 o'clock at night when you're 14. Shit's hilarious.
All right, you ready for the next one?
On to the next.
Boop, boop, boop.
You want me to get it?
Just me? So I think
Yeah,
this is the one I
this
shared.
was the one that you submitted.
Florida man returns.
Thank you, Florida.
Florida man injected opioid chemical agent under family's door, police say.
Woo!
Tampa, Florida. After moving into their new condominium in June 2022, Umar Abdullah and his expectant wife were ready to welcome their daughter. They met their neighbors, and soon enough, a newborn was kicking around the place. Shortly thereafter, his downstairs neighbor, Zooming Lee, began texting him, complaining of noises from upstairs. In text shared with Nextstar's WFLA, Lee said he couldn't sleep and could hear the toilet seat being moved. I'm always I've always lived in a house. Well, I've lived in a few apartments here and there, but I've never had like upstairs, downstairs neighbors to worry about.
Yeah.
Maybe side to side neighbors. So I know that stuff can be annoying.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can hear a toilet seat being moved, maybe slammed or something, if they're just like whamming it down.
Yeah, but.
And I know some people, got those jobs where they got to be up early and late or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe he just liked his.
I was almost trying to find some sympathy with this guy, but I don't know if we're going to find any. After months of back and forth between the two men, Abdullah and his family began experiencing grogginess, sickness, and vomiting.
Jeez.
I look at my daughter, Abdullah said. Her eyes were full of tears. She was not crying, but her eyes were full of tears. Abdullah said a friend of his first smelled the chemicals when he went to bring in a package while Abdullah was on vacation. When the family returned, they said they smelled it too. Though some described it as nail polish remover, Abdullah said it was more obnoxious.
Oh wow. That would be an obnoxious smell.
Yeah.
To deal with all the time.
Right. First, he said he called an air conditioning company, but they said nothing was wrong. A plumber checked out the water heater, but that was fine too, though Abdullah said his landlord had replaced it anyway. It's a nice landlord story. They're actually replacing something. It's not before it's a problem. The smell kept returning, even after the air ducts and vents were clean too. He even called the fire department, but their test didn't reveal anything.
Damn.
Then I actually double-checked, Abdullah explained. I started sniffing that place like a dog. After all the suspects he could think of were checked off, Abdullah said his thoughts turned to his downstairs neighbor, who kept complaining of noises that Abdullah eventually believed didn't exist. When Abdullah found a crack in the corner of his door that a syringe could fit through, he installed a hidden camera in the plant outside.
Oh boy.
Even during war, the worst enemies do not attack the opponent, the other party, with chemicals, Abdullah said. On a day when he said he noticed his daughter sick again, he checked the hidden camera. It appeared to show his downstairs neighbor crouching down in front of Abdullah's front door, but the angle was not clear enough to tell what was going on. We were shaking, Abdullah recalled. We can't imagine that he is coming and doing something. After adjusting the hidden camera angle, Abdullah said he waited until his daughter got sick again. He checked the footage and saw his neighbor. This time the video appeared to show his neighbor taking a syringe out, filling it with liquid, then injecting the liquid into the crack in Abdullah's door frame. The first thing that came to my mind, my daughter and my wife, Abdullah remembered, they need to be safe. He got his family out of the house, then called the police. Lee was arrested and charged with multiple felonies, including possession of a controlled substance and burglary. Damn. According to a Tampa Police Department affidavit, a hazmat test found the liquid chemical agent contained both methadone and hydrocodone, opioid pain medications. Abdullah doesn't want to think about any long-term side effects on his daughter. Lee's arrest record lists him as a student at University of South Florida, but the school told WFLA he was a chemistry PhD student and is no longer enrolled there. His last semester was summer 2023.
So he was pretty much a student there.
Right. Lee is out on bond. His next hearing is December 5th. He's also facing lawsuits from Abdullah for domestic violence and the Condo Association for breach of contract.
Oh.
In a statement to WFLA, Lee's attorney said Lee pleaded not guilty and all of the facts will come in due course of time. Abdullah's daughter celebrated her first birthday a couple weeks ago in the same condo. He said the family is looking for a new place, but it's hard to find one with their new specifications. So you can see the video on there where the guy I think it's been playing in the corner. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. And he just kind of comes up the stairs and he leans over and squirts something into the door frame.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
And it's
I see a lot of courtroom stuff, but
maybe it's all the way back at the very beginning.
Passionate battle to save a grand oak tree.
Maybe that's a different one now.
yeah, that's a different one.
Maybe it's back up at the top. But anyway, this guy just comes up and he just leans over and he just kind of like squirts it under the door. More oak tree. We must have gone on to the oak tree story.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. Unless this is
Solving everything they can to protect.
Still the tree.
still the tree.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
I'm definitely pro saving old trees.
listen, if you can't, I understand you don't like your neighbors, but you can't fucking kill them.
And like I didn't.
You can't fucking poison them to death. You can't fucking kill them. You just got to move or wait it out until they move.
And I didn't think, we hear about like fentanyl and stuff, but I didn't know you could just like squirt hydrocodone or whatever
Right.
near
Yeah,
somebody and that
then
would make
it's-
them sick just being around it. Maybe if they were like, barefoot and stepping on it or something.
The dude was a chemical PhD, so he knew how to mix certain things together and get an effect out of it. But wow, what a fucking piece of shit, dude.
Imagine you just feel like crap, and then you got to realize, is it because my neighbor's sensitive?
Makes you wonder how many times you felt like crap.
Right.
And it could be because somebody's poisoning you and you just don't know. Oh, man. That's crazy, though.
Crazy ass people.
Florida man.
It just makes you hate people even more. Mm-hmm. All right, we got one last one, and this was actually happened this week, I believe.
This is from our Intrepid. I thought you were going to go to the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we got two more. Sorry.
Want to save this one for last? We'll do the other one real quick.
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
I think this one will probably be the shorter one.
This is the one from our good friend Chuckles.
This is our intrepid man on the streets, Jason. I think he sent this one to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point in time.
Breaking news. A human skull found in Goodwill donation box. Here's what police say. Goodyear Police Department said a human skull found in a Goodwill donation box was historic and not believed to be related to a crime. A picture provided by Goodyear Police shows the skull covered in dark black spots with the upper front teeth still attached and a false eye set on the left eye socket.
That's so fucking creepy, isn't it?
An unknown donor decided to clean out the skeletons, or at least a portion of a skeleton, from a closet, prompting a police investigation in Goodyear. Goodwill staff followed company protocol by immediately reporting the donation to Goodyear Police and continued to cooperate with the police investigation, according to a spokesman for Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona. Police said officers responded Tuesday night to reports of the skull discovery in the donation box and took possession of what was believed to be, quote, an actual human skull at the Goodwill near the northwest corner of Saraval Avenue and Yuma Road. The skull was transported to Maricopa County Office of the Medical Examiner, where it was found to be of, quote, historic origin. The skull has no forensic significance, meaning there appears to be no associated crime, said Lisa Berry, a spokesperson for Goodyear Department. It was unclear if the skull would be returned to the Goodwill store in Goodyear or what it would be priced at. A spokesperson for Goodwill Industries International could not be reached for a comment, and a manager with the store declined to speak with the Arizona Republic. The investigation was still ongoing.
Would you want to speak to them? I mean, I know I wouldn't want to speak to them.
The question is, do they want it back?
Yeah.
What
Somebody donated that.
What kind of price could you put on that thing?
How dare you take that away from us?
It's priceless.
Oh man.
What if it turns out it's really like a historic object, like it's worth a lot of money or something too?
Yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it?
I just threw that out. Oh, can I have that back?
I still want to know, who just drops a human skull off at Goodwill? But maybe they were, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to.
Maybe they didn't know it was in the box. I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe it's Gwyneth Paltrow. What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
Oh no.
Yeah, the creepy eye makes that.
That's
Yeah,
what
even more
kind of does
creepier.
it.
And the teeth too.
Okay, so now we have one last article, and this was from earlier this week, correct?
I believe so.
I didn't even know there was a festival out in the middle of the desert called Burning Man.
Oh, you haven't heard of Burning Man before?
No, I'd never heard of it.
I've heard
There
of it,
was an
but I
episode-
don't go into depth.
There was an
with it.
episode of Malcolm in the Middle about it.
Oh yeah,
I think so. I think there was an episode where they went to Burning Man.
I never watched much Malcolm in the Middle, so that's probably why.
I always watched the reruns. I never watched it when it first was out, I don't think.
Party invite. Sorry, I'm busy.
Party.
Party.
Let me see here from Yahoo Entertainment. The 2023 Burning Man Meltdown. A moment-by-moment look at the festival's descent into chaos. More than 70,000 souls mired in mud and far from civilization. A death under investigation. Here's how the events unfolded.
Look at that. They're all just fucking stuck out there. So I guess they got stuck, because it rained so much. Right. And then there was this long period of time of everybody trying to get out at once. So it was even worse. All right, you ready?
See, Fire Festival 2.0? Question mark. That was the first thing I thought about when.
I don't think it's quite as bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Fire Festival pretty obviously a scam from the beginning?
Yeah,
This is an actual festival.
Yeah, this is a successful festival, it sounds like.
The memes and jokes came fast and furious over the holiday weekend as the annual Burning Man Festival was impacted by heavy rains, causing a quagmire of sticky mud and calls for attendees to shelter in place over the weekend. A mass
quagmire
exodus finally ensued on Monday afternoon before the eponymous man burned. But with more than 70,000 people stranded at one point, a death under investigation, and rumors of spreading disease, the situation was deemed perilous enough that President Joe Biden was made aware of the situation. What do you think? You think Joe's like, what the fuck is Burning Man?
Yeah.
Why are people out in the desert? He probably had my reaction. Right. Why are people out in the desert doing that?
Hanging out.
It's not a safe place to have a festival.
What are you doing out there, Jack?
Yeah.
Here's a breakdown of everything that went down at this year's Burning Man.
It's a malarkey.
Kind of malarkey you doing out there in the desert. Early signs of trouble. 12:01 a.m. Sunday, August 27th. The gates open for early arrivals to attend the event, which attracts tens of thousands to the desert in northwest Nevada to build a temporary, self-sufficient, and art-themed community called Black Rock City. The annual Bacchanal, I like that, Bacchanal, whose tickets start at $575, is scheduled to wrap on Labor Day, with the highlight being the Burning of the Man, a towering figure of a man whose immolation represents rebirth, slated for Sunday night. The forecast calls for rain beginning Friday, with up to an inch falling by Saturday morning. While that may not sound like much to some in a geographic region more commonly beset by dust storms than rainstorms, it's the equivalent of a few months' worth of precipitation.
Wow.
Theoretically, attendees are supposed to be prepared. One of the guiding principles of Burning Man is self-sufficiency. Everyone must pack their own shelter provisions, including ample food and water. The festival site warns of extreme conditions. Weather on the playa is often violent and unpredictable. Dust storms, high winds, freezing temperatures, rain. We get it all out there. It's impossible to be overly prepared when it comes to the elements. So you're paying $575 to go
To maybe die.
to maybe die.
You just do that for free yourself.
Yeah. I'm happy being at home.
Right. I like air conditioning and all my stuff's here.
A comfortable climate, my own TV, food when I need it, shower when I need it, water when I need
not
it.
69,000 other people.
Yes.
Sunday afternoon. Activists protesting the detrimental environmental impact of the fragile desert ecosystem caused by fossil fuel, plastics, and other waste block the 2-lane road that is the only way into Burning Man. Burning Man should aim to have the same type of political impact that Woodstock had on counterculture, the organization Extinction Rebellion, part of the collective behind the roadblock, says in a statement. If we are honest about system change, it needs to start at home. Ban the lowest hanging fruit immediately. Private jets. Good call. Traffic is backed up for miles before rangers from the Pyramid Lake Paiute Tribal Police Department breaks down the barricade and arrests the protesters. The worst is yet to come. Rainfall. Friday morning, September 1st. With the kickoff of the Labor Day weekend, more attendees arrive en masse by car, with the real big spenders taking private charters to the nearby Black Rock Airport. Also arriving, rain. I want to
The ultimate villain.
let me go back up to the top. This is by Kyle Moss and David Artavia, because they're writing this like it's going to be the next Netflix thriller here, right? Like episode 1 ends and just a few drops of rain start coming down. Friday morning, September 1st. Did we get that part already? Yep. I woke up on Friday. I looked outside the RV, and it was kind of shocking how muddy and swampy it was. Carmen, a 4-time Burning Man attendee, tells Yahoo Entertainment. It was clear that you weren't going to go out and do anything. And also, I was staying with a large camp, and I heard that one of our large shade structures came down and knocked a bunch of stuff over, so it was chaotic. The parched, powdery ground transformed into thick, ankle-deep mud that is difficult to walk in and nearly impossible to drive through. Friday evening, festival organizers announced via social media that the temporary airport and the main gate into the grounds have been closed due to the inclement conditions, urging burners to help each other stay safe. Saturday morning, September 2. Conditions continue to deteriorate. Organizers announced that no vehicles are permitted to enter or exit the site. Celebrity evacuation. Of course. Saturday afternoon, September 2. While vehicles were prevented from leaving, some attendees attempted to flee on foot across miles of mud to a paved road where buses were being deployed. And with breaks in the weather, some people take advantage, including DJ and music producer Diplo, whose real name is Thomas Wesley Pence.
Have no idea who that is.
Sounds vaguely familiar. He posts a video to social media on Saturday evening showing him and actor-comedian Chris Rock riding in the back of a truck, saying they just walked 5 miles in the mud before a fan picked us up.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Like just picking up Chris Rock on the side of the road?
There's his exit.
Twitter.
There's Chris Rock.
There he is.
Look at that nice for walking all that 5 miles in the mud. His jacket is impeccably clean. You would think the mud would splash up and hit that,
or even dusty.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something I didn't know. Ebola outbreak?
I didn't hear about this.
Saturday afternoon, September 2. Meanwhile, the 72,000 who remain have to deal with these deteriorating hygiene conditions. There's a three-eyed dinosaur shrimp that reportedly emerges from the muck.
Oh.
Portable toilets are overwhelmed and became disgusting when pump trucks can't reach them for service. Rumors start spreading of an unsubstantiated E. coli outbreak, which is soon conflated into rumors of an equally unsubstantiated Ebola outbreak. Neither turn out to be true. Just a lot of crap.
All right.
I think that's just silly nonsense, in my opinion. I'm sure there were things like maybe flu, COVID, I don't know, typical stuff like that. I'm sure going around. Carmen tells you, but E. coli? No. Ebola? No. A fatality.
Dun, dun, dun.
Finish him.
Climax.
Sunday morning, September 3rd, the festival is shaken by news of a death. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating a death which occurred during this rain event. The family has been notified and the death is under investigation. As this death is still under investigation, there is no further information available at this time, according to the Sheriff's Office. On Monday, authorities announced the deceased had been identified as Leon Reese, 32. The local medical examiner performed an autopsy to determine a cause of death and is awaiting results of a toxicology test. Speaking to reporters from his home in Delaware, President Joe Biden says he is monitoring the Burning Man situation. We're in touch with the local people. We're paying attention. We ought to be getting everybody out of there. There was one death. I don't know what the reason for the death was. Cause of death, malarkey.
Yep. You think it was more like that when he was trying to talk?
Yeah.
Sunday
Malarkey.
afternoon, September 4. Organizers vow that the burning of the man is still scheduled to take place Sunday night, despite the forecast calling for an uncertain weather front. Organizers weigh in on the Ebola rumors. The online rumors of transmissible illnesses in Black Rock City are unfounded and untrue. Some attendees report being threatened with an $800 fine as they attempt to drive out of the lockdown site. Outside observers continue to react on social media, including people comparing it to the failed fire festival. Sunday evening, September 4. More rain, more flooding. The site remains closed to vehicles attempting to exit. The burning is postponed.
Oh, shit.
The man burns, finally. Monday, September 5th, while the driving ban isn't officially lifted until 2 p.m., CNN drone footage shows thousands already in their vehicles and making their way to the gates on Monday morning. Organizers announced that all of the burns, the man, the Chapel of Babel, and the temple, are rescheduled for Monday night through Tuesday night and encourage people to stay until Tuesday to help alleviate congestion. Monday night, September 5th, the burning finally commences to drastically reduce crowds.
Let me just stay a little bit longer in this hellish place, which I don't have time scheduled to stay.
Let me stay in this literal shithole.
Yeah, literal shithole.
The postmortem. As a few holdouts remain for the last of the events early Tuesday, most of the Black Rock Playa has emptied out. The memes and only the real ones stay to the end, you know?
Yeah.
The memes and social media jokes are beginning to die down, and some who endured the ordeal are saying that it really wasn't that bad. I think the news media has jumped at the opportunity to try to just portray this as like a hellscape, horrible fire festival situation, and really trying to play up the directness of it, says Carmen. As somebody who was there and went through all of it, that wasn't really my experience. Good for you, Carmen.
It probably was as bad as the media made it out to be. I mean, you can look at that picture of all those cars lined up, and you just imagine all those people were together in an area, and shit was piling up. Food was running out. Water was running out. They were telling people that they needed to conserve food and water. I mean, fuck that. I bet a lot of those people don't ever come back. What do you think?
I wouldn't.
I don't
wouldn't
know.
even go in the
Fuck
first place.
no.
I feel like if they paid all that money to go, I mean, I'm sure plenty of people just go once, you know, like
500 is not that much. It's not nearly as much as the fire festival, I believe. I mean, they didn't pay for a chartered private plane flight there and all these other suites.
Right. So I'm sure maybe it was a bucket list for some people, but I'm sure plenty of people go every year or numerous times. So glad just about everybody made it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for one person. So that's your crazy news for this episode.
We got to protect that Chris Rock from the Reaper.
Yeah. Do you think he saw the Grim Reaper spinning the wheel and he was like, oh, hell no.
He's like, oh, hell no.
I'm going to walk out of here with my crisp New York Knicks jacket. Get me, bitch.
Dude, that jacket was crisp. That's
It was very crisp for walking through 5 miles of mud.
That motherfucker didn't walk no 5 miles. He took like 20 steps like, oh, shit, that's Chris Rock. Pick him up.
Yeah. But 5 miles just sounds so great.
That motherfucker wasn't even sweating. Looked like he wasn't even out of breath. Maybe because I'm fat, I would think I would be.
Well, he's probably been resting for a little bit before they shot that. Where did I put that picture at? Oh, here we go. So this was the other thing we're going to talk about: the writers and actors strike.
The WGA and the SAG.
Yep. So it's starting to come out now. Like all the numbers, they've had all their numbers evaluated and the packages that they're having, and it seems like the smaller companies are like, yeah, we can do that, no problem. It's the bigger companies like Warner Brothers Discovery, Netflix, and I don't even know if Apple's really being that bad. It sounds like Apple's kind of just like
They're probably just in the mix,
waiting for the dominoes to fall, and they'll pay whatever.
Yeah,
because Apple's got an unlimited amount of cash. It seems like, but Warner Brothers Discovery says ongoing strikes will mean 300 million to 500 million hit to 2023 earnings. And we got a picture of our favorite asshole.
Zaslav.
Yeah, David Zaslav or whatever his name. Zasloff. Is that his name?
he's called Get Fucked, is what his name should be.
Rob, you refer to so many people as that. We need to.
But it's funny.
Get
Identifier.
Fucked the third.
So basically, they're coming out with these numbers now. They're the SAG and what's the other one, the WGA.
Yep.
They're coming out and having people do the numbers on what they're asking for, and it's a tiny percentage of what they're going to lose because of this strike.
Right.
I mean, right here it says 300 million to 500 million, and one of the reports that I read was like 46 or 48 million is what it would cost.
I don't want to say small number, but relatively
small number when you think of the money that they're losing
Right.
by playing games with these people.
And like you said, some of even the smaller companies are already saying, "Yeah, we'll take that deal. Let's get back to work."
Yeah, because they know they're going to lose more money in the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's so much money out there. Everybody's going to get their fair share. It's just greed at this point. Like, these companies don't want to give up any more money.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make as much as they can and give you as little as possible. And that goes for every company, it seems
Really?
like,
It
anymore
is.
now. They don't want any of us to have any money. They want us to all be miserable and depend on them for what little money we get. But man, I mean, at some point, somebody with some intelligence has to say, listen, we're going to lose 300 to 500 million. Let's spend the 50 million and not lose that 500 million. I mean, that just sounds like such a huge number to lose.
Well, it's simple. It's like, so how about we just lose 50 instead of 500?
Yeah.
I mean, that's common fucking sense.
We can make the 50 back somehow.
Right.
Yeah. Don't worry.
But I mean, these assholes, I mean, it's come down to a pissing competition, and they don't want to back down. They don't want to seem weak for whatever reason, but you're not weak. You're taking care of the people that make you money. But they don't see it like that. They see it as, they see us as slaves, is essentially what it is.
Well, specifically for these guys, I think there's a couple issues at play. Even part of that article, if you read through it, says that this is actually helping them with like cash issues because they're not spending money on any of these productions right now. So even though that's going to cost them money, like annually, they actually have money right now.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if they're going to spin that into like positives for the company.
Oh, yeah.
To drive the stock up. And that's what a lot of this stuff is. It's just about the stock. And not specifically Warner's, even though Warner's used to be a movie studio.
Yeah.
But now it's not a movie studio anymore. It's Warner's Discovery, and all these companies are owned by other companies now. So it's not just about making movies. It's about being a business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And anybody who pays any attention to this stuff anymore knows it's not even running about business. It's not even about running a business. It's about making stuff look good so you drive the stock up.
It's funny. They used to say, the two businesses that were untouchable through any kind of economic disaster or something happening of that nature was, the entertainment industry and the alcohol industry.
Right.
And this year we've seen people boycott and decimate Bud Light. I mean, and we've seen the actors and the writers unions really take it to these studios. And now they're going to lose money because this thing's dragging out as far as it can go. I mean, I got to think this gets solved in the next month or two.
Well, I'd really like to see somebody like in the know do like some sort of whistleblower kind of deep dive.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, like we were just talking about, like not specifically for Warner Brothers, like a Netflix or something, like these streamers are really seem to be worried they're going to have to reveal their real numbers.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they should.
And well, it's either they're lying and the numbers aren't that good, which drives the stock down, or they're lying and the numbers are really good, in which case they can easily afford to pay people more.
And all these places, these streaming services are losing money. So how good are the numbers?
And they're all raising prices.
Yes. So either they're really great numbers and you're raising prices and not really losing money, or it's the complete opposite. And these services are sucking the life out of these companies.
Mm-hmm.
So
I almost want, like I said, that's why I'd like to see like somebody do like a really deep dive. Like, are these companies using these losses to make some other part of the company to do something kind of shady,
we've seen a lot of really famous and successful actors and writers. They're coming out and they're leading the charge on this shit. You had Bryan Cranston speak at one of these rallies. Was it Aaron Paul? Mm-hmm. He just came out and he's like, I've never earned a cent off Breaking Bad being on Netflix. And that's where the show got popular.
Right.
I think Sean Gunn as well.
Like, how do you not get a residual from Netflix for some, like I get they pay for the licensing, but why doesn't a portion of that licensing fee that Netflix paid, the parent company, go to residuals?
And that's part of like this whole streaming thing. Like the whole system was kind of junk. Like back in the day, that couldn't happen on TV because you could know exactly how many times
you had the Nelson ratings and stuff like that.
And I don't think maybe we briefly brought it up, but like Suits, the show from the USA Network, was like the number one show for a week or two on Netflix.
Yeah. It's
because
it's
people
still
were
the
binging
number
through
one
it.
show. Yeah.
And like they're not really getting anything out of that, even though it's had this popularity and resurgence,
notoriety. You know, I mean, but yeah, it's just fucked up, man. And I feel for these people, and people have talked a lot of shit, like, well, go get a real job. Like, these people are fucking working,
right?
Like,
so it is their day job.
Yeah, and I read where one guy, who's the one guy that played in Twister and the People Under the Stairs.
I think his name's like Whelan or Whalen or something.
He's got a TikTok account that's pretty popular. He was saying at one point last year he had to fucking go work as a demo person for Ralph's. So he was handing out fucking samples. Mm-hmm. And this is a guy that has a decent IMDb profile. Right. He's been in film, shows.
A working actor.
He's a working actor, yeah. And he's having to go out and get a part-time job just to make fucking ends meet. I mean, what does that tell you? Like, it's not as glamorous as people think.
Right.
Yeah, the few that make it get paid extremely well, and they're well off. They don't need certain, things that the little people need. But the system is broken now because of the technology and streaming, and it needs to be reworked.
Yeah, Sean Whalen's his name.
Yeah.
And he's when you see him, you've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's talked about deals he's gotten. I mean, it sounds like he gets screwed over by Disney a lot. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, these people have more money than you could ever think of. They can pay these fucking people.
Yeah.
And they can pay them a decent wage, a living wage.
Exactly. Like you said, if you work for any company in America, I'm sure you've seen the profits go up. You've probably seen the CEO pay go up.
But your pay has not gone up to meet today's standards.
Right. Certainly not even like for something like inflation.
Yeah.
Even though you're labeled essential.
Right.
It's funny. I watched a thing on the United Auto Workers,
right?
UAW, because they're getting ready to go on strike this month. I think this week they're going to go on strike.
I think it's like
14th.
10 days or something like that, right?
September 14th. So we're closing in on it. Like, what, 5 days?
6 days?
Yep.
Yeah. But they used to have what was called a COLA raise, cost of living average or whatever. And so if that was still in place today, they would be getting like 9% wage increases. And they did away with that. The union had to take a step back to help the car companies recover from the last financial fiasco. But they've been trying to get it back since they recovered, and they are not budging. They want nothing to do with giving that back. And I mean, really, what is a 5 or 6% raise. It's nothing. Right. It's a drop in the bucket for these companies. Like, why don't we stop paying the astronomical payouts to these CEOs that are raising the cost and pretty much fucking everything up for everybody but them? But for some reason, the majority of people don't see it that way until they're affected by it.
Right. It's like, I mean, you see everything like from the housing issues.
Oh yeah.
To cars. Like, cars are more expensive than they ever are. They don't always seem to be as reliable as they used to be. They're not as easy to work on as they used to be.
Oh no. I think cars are more reliable nowadays, but when something goes wrong, you ain't fucking fixing it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go to the dealership, and then it's not like we can't tell you what's wrong with it. You got to pay us $120 for us to diagnose it, and all they're doing is hooking it up to a machine to get codes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, unless it's something serious. But then you don't get that $120 back, even if you decide to get it fixed there. Like, that's outrageous.
No, I like a buddy of mine who's a traveling mechanic. He sent a picture on his Facebook once, and he showed like an older car and a newer car, and a newer car just has like so many like miles or whatever of electronics in it and wires and everything. And some of that stuff you flat out can't work on. You have to have the right kind of computer to hook it up to just to diagnose it and that kind of stuff.
Oh, imagine having a Tesla. Right. There ain't no working on that bitch.
See, and that's another one, something like Tesla. Like, Tesla isn't really a car company.
No.
It's it's computers in its way.
It's a software company.
And they make a car. And that kind of goes back to like Warner Brothers and stuff like that. Like, these companies don't do like just one or two things anymore. They all want to do all this stuff, so it can makes their stock price and all that look good, so they can move money and shift and maybe hide some stuff.
Yeah,
and pay their CEOs more and more.
And I mean, look at all the movies that Warner Brothers Discovery just canned this year just for a tax cut, and they'll never see the light of day unless somebody leaks them.
Right.
And all it was a tax cut. They knew they weren't going to make the money back or whatever, so they cut it, and they're going to get the money back through taxes now.
Taking stuff off the streaming so they don't have to pay residuals.
Yeah.
What little residuals they might pay.
Yeah. It's all bullshit. And I mean, I don't know. What is the answer? Do we cap CEO pay by a percentage of what your average worker makes?
I think we just start capping CEOs.
Yeah.
There has to be an answer to this to get everything back into control, because at this point, it's going to create such a division to where I think things are going to get violent.
It is.
Well, the inequality is just way too high.
I mean, you look in California, people are raiding stores. I mean, they're just going in 20 people deep and taking the whole fucking store.
Well, because there's like a new law passed, like if it's a certain amount of money,
it's not a felony.
It's not a felony. So they
don't arrest shoplifters. They take everything in the fucking store.
And and the thing is, it doesn't even hurt the businesses all that much. It might hurt the specific place.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really hurt the bottom line of the business in general, so they kind of don't care anyway.
Yeah, they're like, whatever, let them go. We'll just write it off.
Right.
Get a tax cut.
Right. I mean, there's really no such thing as a middle class anymore. It's really not.
No, I don't feel like there is anymore. I feel like there's the working class, and then there's an upper class, and then there's those the uber rich. So, but I feel like everybody struggles now.
It's depressing.
You even hear rich people, like people that are well off, complain about shit. And, they're like, I can't do this. I got to cut back. It's like, what do you have to cut back for, motherfucker? You make $300,000 a year. So, I mean, they're getting hit on taxes and everything else.
They still buy, they got to buy cars. They still got to buy babysitters and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just, it's out of control everywhere. Every which way you look, it's out of control. Right. All right, so moving on. We got 2 segments left. We're just going to run through these pretty much because we're at the hour and 8-minute mark. So I started to watch Justified. What was it called again, Rob?
City Primal.
City Primal. City Primal or City Primeval?
Primeval, I believe. That's
what I thought. I thought it was Primeval.
Yeah, Primeval.
City Primeval. And I'm excited, man. Justified. I never watched it when it was on air. I watched it all on Amazon Prime, and it just became like one of my favorite shows that I watched, kind of reminiscent to Breaking Bad. Never watched Breaking Bad until its last season on the air, and the same with Justified. But, man, I fucking love this show, and I'm glad to see Timothy Oliphant come back. Was that you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was loud.
It's like the fucking Hulk breaking shit.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see Timothy Oliphant reprise the role of Raylan. Is Is it Givens or Gibbons?
Gibbons. Yep, Raylan Gibbons.
Raylan Givens. I'm just sad that Walton Goggins not in it.
Seems to be a lot of people's main gripe. No Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
But the guy they got to play the antagonist,
It's Boyd Holbrook.
he's really good. He's a dirtbag,
He's
man.
a piece of shit.
He's a
and
scumbag.
We love him.
Yeah, I mean, he's ruthless too. But I'm into it because, Raylan's in a Detroit.
Yeah.
He ends up getting stuck there under an investigation of a judge, getting an assassination attempt.
Our boy Keith David.
And it's just running into drugs and a little side story here. And he's got a daughter now that he's got to
She's
think
15.
about. But man, the motherfucking cops are ruthless in it. Like,
Yeah.
they do not care that there's an issue with police brutality right now.
No.
There's a scene where they chase these guys down. They're like white supremacists or something.
They're
Or
just
Proud Boys.
Yeah.
you know?
That's what they are.
But they chase this dude down with a German Shepherd.
Well, it's a Belgian Malinois.
Is
so
it? Yeah.
So those motherfuckers are like jacked. They're like,
But this guy runs up a tree and they're like, watch the show. And they send the dog out and the dog fucking drags him down out of the tree and going to town on his leg. And they're just like having a fucking ball with it.
they're
like,
just asking him questions. He's
like,
like,
it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's like, so how many are you? And he's just like,
So you think you're going to tell us about that now? Like
that dog's going to town. And he's like,
that's fucking torture right there, bro.
well, the cop, like, I guess he's like the main guy who's doing the investigation. He's like, so you got a camera phone? He's like, yeah. He's like, you should record this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no shame in the police brutality in there. Even with Raylan, they're kind of, like, oh,
Well,
okay.
even he's kind of smooth. He's trying to talk to this guy, and this motherfucker kicks the door and breaks this dude's nose, and he goes down the steps.
Yeah, Justified City Primeval. It's a great show so far, though. Is it as good as Justified? Probably not, because it had that, him and Walton Goggins really had that connection going. And
Officer Raylan. He's like, Boyd, what are you doing around here, Boyd?
Timothy
Or
Oliphant, I mean, as Raylan Givens, dude, he's just so great.
He's
this
awesome.
This is his role. I
It
mean,
is.
and it's great that he's getting another shot at it. And I can't wait to finish it. I'm probably like halfway through.
I watched 2 episodes.
But
It's
like I
good.
said, it's not quite as entertaining as the first Justified series. But I hear it ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm excited to get there. But I'm having a lot of fun watching it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if you need to watch the original Justified to kind of watch this. I mean, I guess you could watch them in chronological order, but man, it's a solid watch. I mean, there is good actors in it, and like I said, it's fun, but it's not quite as good as the original because Walton Goggins just
As Boyd.
added another added another level to this whole thing. As the white supremacist, the educated white supremacist with banners.
Yeah, basically is what he was.
Because this one's only like 8 episodes or
It's 8
something.
episodes.
Yes, 8 episodes.
Yeah. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to check it out because I like the book. I read it a while ago. It's not.
It's like Fire in a Hole or something like that, or
It's just called City Primeval.
oh, okay.
The book doesn't have Raylan Givens in it. The book was by Elmore Leonard, and Raylan Givens is a character in another Elmore Leonard novel. So they just kind of moved him into this one so they can make it. But it's sort of the basic same setup as like he's in Detroit. He's going after this criminal who goes after a judge and all that. So I was really into it. So I'm gonna check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's a solid little show though. Like I said, I'm having a blast watching it, and I would highly recommend it.
That's on Hulu, right?
It's on Hulu.
Yes, it's on Hulu. It's an FX show.
Yep. So it's on Hulu.
So if you've got cable, you can probably search for it on demand. I don't know if is it a Hulu exclusive?
No, I think it's FX, and then I think they
Yeah, it just
partner
says
with Hulu.
it's FX stream on Hulu.
Yeah. So I think that's like a partnership. I would say.
Yeah, because Disney owns Fox or whatever.
Yeah, they own everybody. They own your soul.
All right, so this week was the season finale of What We Do in the Shadows.
Great, but it makes you sad.
This is Rob and I's show.
Oh,
This is PBS doesn't watch this. Have you seen any What We Do in the Shadows?
No, just the movie.
Yeah.
Just the movie?
Yeah.
And our
Yeah,
buddy,
so-
buddy Talbot, he's the one who told me
yeah.
to watch it.
But man, what a great cast they have. I don't know if it's my favorite season. Like I said, The Jackie Daytona episode's probably my favorite episode.
That's how we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
Arizona.
He's got the toothpick, the
And
magic toothpick.
For those of you that don't know, the guy that plays the vampire Laszlo, he played in IT Crowd. He played the boss in season 2 from there on out. And he was phenomenal in that. But he's always in like British comedies, and he is fucking hilarious.
The most devious bastard.
Yes. Yeah,
Been double crossed by the devil.
I mean, they're all good. So, I mean, it's to give you the gist of this. It's kind of like a documentary crew, doing a documentary on
Vampires.
4 vampires, right?
Yeah.
Got
3 vampires and one's the energy vampire.
One's an energy vampire.
Colin Robinson.
Colin Robinson's probably my favorite,
This fucking guy.
aside from Laszlo. But and they have like a caretaker, I guess you could say. What do they call him?
He's a familiar.
A familiar, yeah. But he takes care of all the fucking vampires' needs and cleans their house for them. Which you can clean of it. I mean,
He doesn't. He makes it dirtier, basically.
Yeah,
So this
it
is what
looks like a
cleaning.
total shithole. But
He has a bed underneath the stairs. His room.
yeah, he has this little fucking cubby hole, and they're sleeping in giant rooms, fucking everything up. But what we do in the shadows, man, it is the best comedy on right now. I will take that to the grave.
It's
It's so fucking funny. I constantly have laugh out loud moments. There's sometimes where I have to stop, hit pause until I get over the laugh. I mean, it's that good. Okay, so Kayvon Novak plays Nandor.
Matt Berry is Laszlo.
Matt Berry's the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah. He's played in tons of British comedies.
Yeah.
Harvey Gillian, is that how you say his name? I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's Guillermo or Gizmo. He's called
Guillermo or Gizmo. They always call
Gizmo.
him
Shut the fuck up.
Gizmo, shut the fuck up. Natasha Demetrio, she plays Nausea. And then Colin Robinson is played by Mark Proksch. I think that's how you say his name.
He was on an episode of
He was
The
actually
Office, and also I
Yeah.
think Better Call Saul.
he plays the same character in everything.
Yeah, it's just him.
Yeah, that kind of standoffish guy that is boring,
Yeah.
He played in Better Call Saul. A couple episodes of that. He was a baseball collector, but he was doing some shady deals where he was getting prescriptions to people or something. I can't really remember it. But I mean,
Doug Jones.
yeah, I mean, everybody that plays in this is really good. And then who is the one chick that's playing in it this year? She's been in it the past couple seasons. Oh, Kristen Shaw.
That's her.
Yeah.
He's always funny.
Yeah, she's great in everything. She was great in Last Man Alive or something like that. What was it?
The Last Man on Earth or Last Man on.
Here, let's
the
click
planet.
on her name. See what. She's cute too. She's got that weird cuteness. All right, so actress, Muppets Mayhem, Bob's Burgers. That's probably what she's best known for.
That, and I think she was on, was it Tina Fey, 30 Rock? I think she was on that at some point.
Yeah, I think she was too. I'm not seeing that show. Of course, it's been a while. Hold
Was
on.
Alec Baldwin on that show, 30 Rock?
Oh yeah, he was one of the main characters.
Dude, I remember I watched the scene and dude, it was the funniest thing. He's like, I forget how it went. but
Last Man on Earth.
There we
Another
go.
great fucking show. She did 66
episodes.
66 episodes. Wow, that was from 15 to 18. Yeah, it was a great show.
I remember watching some with you and Papa Flynn.
Yeah, it was funny, man. But I mean, this season, what was this? Was this the fifth
Fifth season.
or why do they have 6 on it? Oh, 2024 makes the 6th season. So there's a 5th season. But anyways, Gilmore is
Guillermo.
Gizmo. Basically the whole gist of this season is Gizmo is unhappy being a human. He's always wanted to be a vampire and he wants to get turned into a vampire, and he makes a big deal about because they won't turn him for whatever reason.
Yeah, they keep saying it's just not the time yet.
Yeah. They keep kind of yanking his chain and just kind of using him. But Gizmo kind of goes behind their back and speeds up that process. And it's really offensive to do that to a vampire. It's kind of like a death wish.
Yeah.
But anyways, the whole season's kind of him hiding it and one person finding out and hiding it. Yada, yada, yada.
Well, it's supposed to be like the master's supposed to turn you, but if someone else does it, it's like you said, it's a death sentence.
Yeah,
Like that's frowned
it's the
upon.
worst thing you could do to a vampire.
Yeah.
But it's so funny how the seasons play into each other. Like certain characters reappear and then something gets said that, they happened in earlier seasons and they find out about it. I mean, it's just brilliant writing, great comedy, tons of great one-liners. Like there's an episode where they go into the mall and those people that are always at the kiosks in the mall with like the soaps,
sunglasses and all that stuff.
I always find they have like the lotions and soaps, whatever. And the one girl walks out to Laszlo and she's like, sir, would you like to try this? Let me wash your hands or whatever. And he's like, get fucked.
He's like, fuck off. He's like, I ain't got time for this cheap sex potion.
Yeah. He just tells her to get fucked. And he keeps like, it's such a badass thing because he just like kind of gives her the hand and keeps walking. Yeah. And of course they're in the most ridiculous clothes. Like they're in like these,
like that Victorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're in these weird like 18th century like clothing because that's how long they've lived.
Gothic, Victorian, whatever.
But it is super funny, and even if you're not familiar with these characters, I guarantee you'll laugh. I mean, it's such a good show.
Yeah.
And they interact with the other humans at night, and it's just funny, man. Like,
he's my boy. He's my pal. He's my good time boy. My sweet cheese.
My Swiss cheese. Yeah, and like there's one episode where they find out that one dude dated a werewolf or whatever, and it's this big thing. Like it is hilarious.
And they were gonna do a spinoff about the werewolves, but that was like they said that the first season of this, but I don't think that went through.
Man, such a great show though. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, it's that great. But it's funny, normally like Laszlo and what's his face?
Colin Robinson.
Colin Robinson kind of shine in this show.
Yeah.
And this year it seemed like Nandor really took the spotlight. I mean, Laszlo definitely has his moments. Yeah. But Nandor really like carried the torch midway to the end.
I can fly to outer space. No, you can't.
The way he talks too is just hilarious. Like, but yeah, definitely check out What We Do in the Shadows. It's an FX show, but you can stream all the seasons and episodes on Hulu.
Yep.
So probably the best deal in streaming right there. Hulu.
It really is.
It's like a cable subscription, just a day behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
a lot of this stuff due the next day or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Who can't wait a day? Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
All the other shows you generally have in the queue.
Yeah. I mean,
the long ass list of shit I need to watch.
I haven't even watched my YouTube TV in a long time. I mean, I'm going to watch it now that it's football season. But anymore, that's what I have it for. A lot of stuff I check out on Hulu, or obviously I don't watch a lot of broadcasted television anymore. So unless it's sports, I'm not really watching that kind of TV nowadays. I'm strictly streaming and movies for the most part. But so that's all we have for this episode of the Sleazy Podcast. This was episode 166. I forgot to write 6 on the board there.
Episode 16, we're going back.
Yeah, episode 16.
Taking it back.
Yeah. But so if you could please, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so when we post new stuff, you'll get alerted and you can watch it. Even though YouTube seems to be becoming our more popular platform.
Is it?
As far as
I've been checking the numbers in a little bit.
Yeah. Like one time we had like, I don't know, a couple hundred on there. I'm like, damn, what's up with that? I'm
moving on up.
Just 60 people watching. But I think people kind of cue into a certain segment they want to hear and then they dip.
Yeah,
so whatever. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
We'll take it.
But yeah. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. I'm talking to you. If I can get my finger in there. You. Forgot, half me is like cut out because we're changing the camera view until we get it right.
I think this one's a little better.
Yeah, it's
not
definitely
that,
a
not that
little
I
better.
didn't enjoy the view that like God was looking down on us or something. But
Yeah.
I think this one's a little more.
I like the creepy security camera angle. So
This seems to be a little more aesthetically pleasing.
like we're in the break room, but yeah, people seem to want to visual. They want to connect with you visually for whatever reason.
I mean, it's just, and it's YouTube anymore. I mean, who doesn't watch so much on YouTube?
Yeah, somebody's always on there. Share the show. That's the call to action. Share, like, comment, share. I mean, what I can't say anymore.
Check out the TikToks.
Yeah,
We're on TikTok.
yeah, we're on TikTok. I make some funny TikToks that kind of revolve around the show. And then,
I wouldn't lie to you when I tell you that some of them are legit. Pretty genius.
did you like the one I made of the cat driving to your favorite band?
Love it. Spot on.
I just
Spot
imagine you like laughing out loud to that.
Spot on.
What did I put on there? I put
Whip it.
Whip It. Yeah, I remember you being a big fan of that
Yeah.
band.
Devo. Yep.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
but
Instagram, X, Twitter, Letterboxd.
yeah,
X Twitter.
we're all on
Whatever
there,
it
and
Yeah, whatever you call it.
I generally interact with all of you. And if you reply to the guys or something, if you want to, like, I sent a thing to Mr. PBS. I was like, you got to answer Lauren. I mean, she's wanting a book for you to, kind of tell. But, and you went on there and you kind of gave her a rundown of what you've been reading or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
We are real people. We'll talk back.
yeah, yeah. And, most of the time when people comment on like Facebook, it's like they get real political and
So,
they,
Facebook is just weird.
like, I'll
anymore.
post something and some old guy will be like, well, Donald Trump was still in there. Like, I didn't post anything political.
It's like, buddy, no one fucking cares, buddy.
This is a crazy story about some guy killing a hooker, It has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
I know what his political affiliation was.
Yeah, the goddamn liberal posting the crazy
I just
news
know
again.
it. They're just killing everybody here with that fucking jab.
Florida.
Believe me, I really try to keep this as far as no political opinions shared on this show. I mean, you might hear some things about labor or something like that, but I don't think that that's political. I think that's more life-centric, living standards.
We're just explaining how much we're
I'm
just...
not telling you who to vote for. I'm not criticizing you for voting for anybody
My
on the
politics
show.
are you should get paid more and live a better life.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much my philosophy. But yeah, so like I said, call to action, share, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And from there, we'll work on getting some more listeners and viewers. But as
Start sending us your October recommendations.
yes, I forgot about that. We are in the process of planning spooky season
We are practically spooky season is upon us.
We've all agreed to do 3 shows, and Rob will be a married man by then.
Yep.
You got what, 3 weeks left?
Yeah.
Are you
September 30th.
taking her last name or?
Are you hyphenating your name?
No, I'm not hyphenating my name. No.
Okay.
I refuse.
Is she changing her name to Glenn?
I think it's going to be hyphenated. Yeah.
Okay. Hyphenated.
Yeah, or whatever, yeah.
You better get your woman in check.
She's a businesswoman, ain't she? She's got to keep that name.
Yeah, let her keep her last name.
That's
then.
right.
Just don't change any names.
Make that money, baby. I don't care.
I wouldn't give a shit because, I mean, really, marriage is a commitment between you and your partner.
It's like, who the fuck cares? Like,
And you can
it's all
have
that matters.
It's not like, I feel like back in the day it was, so your kids could have the same name and everything would be easier. But nowadays you have the kid and people just assume that one of the parents is going to have a different name regardless of the situation.
I don't care.
But yeah, it's all a bunch of bullshit.
It is.
You realize it's just
Do what you
The
got.
older you get,
you'll
it's
get
like,
those.
who cares?
You'll get those tax credits now, and
That's all that matters.
yeah, you'll get a little discount on your insurance because
Anyway, to stick it to the fucking man.
you're an honest man. So the insurance company will be like, he's got somebody at home that cares about him, so he's not going to speed anymore. But little do they know you're going to have more things on your plate, and you're going to be speeding more, and you're going to be doing more. But
More Frisco melts to get.
yeah, more Frisco melts to get.
That sounds fucking tasty.
You'll be stressing to get it home in time, and
Yep.
you'll be like, "Fuck, I need to hit the gas.
God damn it.
I'm gonna
gotta go
get
90.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
get
beat, locked in the basement with
I'm gonna get
Rowdy
beat.
again."
Not again.
piece of shit.
But yeah, we want your horror movies.
Yeah.
We want your horror series. We want new stuff, old stuff, whatever you think we should see and talk about and all that.
And PBS has already formed a list of new horror movies.
Yes,
So
we've started the
that's-
letterbox list of stuff we're trying to.
So that's going to be the goal this year, is to because oftentimes we talk about a lot of horror movies that we've already seen, and we've talked about a shitload of stuff.
Oh yeah.
multiple times every year, which I don't mind.
Feel,
It is.
feel
what it
free to
is.
check out old Halloween episodes, especially.
Yeah.
I always find those to be really fun.
If there's anyone who's ready to step up and try to take down the king, step up because I can't do it alone.
So basically, we'll record on September 22nd, and then Rob's bachelor party's the next night.
Yep.
Which I already told you, if the Ohio State Notre Dame game is not on, I'm leaving.
Well, I haven't been to that restaurant, but it should be.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll hang
going
out
to-
for a little bit, and then I'm gone.
We're going
You haven't been to Russia?
Russia? We're going to Pecan Pennies. So if anyone wants to just show up and have some barbecue,
Are you coming?
I probably got to work. I got to work the next morning.
I don't give a fuck about your.
You got to
corporate
make an
job.
appearance. It's your boy's bachelor party.
All you gotta do is bow down, like, okay.
You're coming to the wedding,
Oh
aren't
yeah. I'll be at the wedding, sure.
So what are you wearing at the wedding?
Shirt, tie, dress pants, dress shoes.
What colors? So I'm not wearing the same colors as you.
I'm wearing khakis, white shirt, and I have a sage green tie. I'll be wearing.
Sage green tie.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was gonna wear like a gray pinkish kind of.
I think you should wear just a pimp suit, like bright orange.
Yeah, like Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah.
Would you get the other Dumb and Dumber suit with me, and we can walk in together?
And
I'd do
you
that.
have to do.
I'm gonna
fencing,
wear a sports jacket,
and you
I'm
have
gonna-
to do the fencing with the canes.
Yeah.
If not, it's just not the same.
Top hats.
I'm definitely gonna wear a sports jacket and a tie. I know that. So
Looking spiffy.
and some nice slacks.
We were working on the
I have to get the slacks and the nice button-down shirt I got out of the closet and dust it off.
with the moths and all everything on it.
I haven't worn dress clothes. I mean, I had a funeral to go to last month, and that was the first time I wore dress clothes since before the pandemic.
and we were working on the like songs.
Yeah,
I got. a
I'm
few.
a country person, so as long as you wear like a pair of nice jeans and a button-down shirt, you're okay.
You're right.
All right, so we're gonna record the 6th, the 13th, which is gonna be Friday the 13th.
Thank God.
We might have to go live for that.
Oh yeah. That's not
And then the 20th will be our big Halloween episode. So, and we've got to find a challenger for PBS this year. Somebody's got to take you down.
The pressure's starting to get to me. I'm already starting to worry about it.
How the
Can
fuck
you-
do you think I feel?
Can you go for the 4-peat is the question.
That's the question. I don't know.
And I got to get a little trophy this year.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be on my deathbed trying to dethrone this cocksucker.
the most famous choke artist that there ever lived on trivia.
You got that fucking right.
But all right, that's all we have for you. We did a lot of talking tonight. So
Fun stuff coming.
We'll be back in another
Fortnite.
bi-weekly here. So, but we'll be back September 22nd for another episode, right? That's what I said.
Something like it.
All right. So as always, remember, keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.